going on? We live again, huh? That's what's up. I'm excited to be here today.
Back once again.
Man. What is taking place since the last time we've been on? It's probably been a lot.
4 months, is it? Man, I feel
exactly.
Like, you know what? I heard the best line from somebody. Somebody said 2020 was 9 years and 2021 feel like it's flying by.
Exactly. We almost at the middle part of this year.
We in May already.
That's crazy.
Man.
That's crazy. Well, everybody, welcome back to Man Me Too. We are back again. We're back at it again, and we're glad to be here with you guys today. So if you all could do us a favor by sharing this show, giving us some thumbs up, leaving us some comments, making sure that you all are not allowing us to just have the conversation, but you all are interacting with us and engaging with us. That would help us out a whole lot. So welcome back to Man Me Too.
Me Too.
Bro, I just want to tell you that you dope. You know that?
What?
I'm telling you, I sit back and watch you a lot, and you a dope brother.
Listen, we always had these conversations, man, and you be like, man, you do so much, you do this, and I'd be like, bro, you talking, but you be over here doing the same stuff, man. What you talking about?
Well, I'm inspired by you, my brother.
Well, listen, I guess inspired people inspire people.
Hey, iron sharpens iron. So, hey, I was taught if you wanna do something in life and you wanna achieve certain things, you got to get around like-minded people or people that know that either know more than you or know more about what you're doing, so that you can get on that same page. And so, I mean, aside from that, like, you're my brother, and I just genuinely enjoy spending time with you. But hey, I'm sharpening my tools, man. I pay attention to you, and I follow closely so I can sharpen my tools so I can be on the same page with you.
Likewise, my brother. Likewise.
Man, so how has your day been? And y'all put in the comments as well how y'all been. You said
it feels like it's been a long week. It feels like it, but it's Thursday, so you know. Technically,
man,
I guess
I'm
it has
so
been
glad
a long
that
week.
Today is Thursday and tomorrow is Friday. God has been good, and He's been keeping me all week long. And as much stuff is going on, I can't complain. Like, this has been definitely been a long week.
Yeah.
So welcome to our listeners and people who are on right now. Welcome to Man Me Too. Let me explain a little bit about who we are. We are a group of guys that we start having these conversations with each other, just being in the room with each other, and decided, hey man, we need to take this thing to the world. We need to express this because there are probably other guys that are, or other males that are experiencing some of the same things, and we don't try to act like we know it all, or we don't try to make it sound like we know all the answers. But hey, we choose to put it out there, and we want you all to engage with us as well, so that, hey, maybe y'all can help us, or you can help me, or he can help me, or maybe I can help him with something. Because a lot of times when you go through things in life, you feel like you're the only one going through it at that moment. But in our reality, it's probably somebody that's been through some of the same things or similar things, or that's going to go through some of those things, and they can learn from your story. So we are out to have a platform where men can speak on issues that we don't normally talk about. We want to shatter the silence of men, and we want to start the community of healing, love, and laughter. Like, you can be healed through all of those, through love and definitely through laughter. And so, hey, if you're dealing with anything, you can reach out to us, and we can point you in the right direction, or pray with you, or whatever you need. We all in this thing together, and we want to make sure that we have an outlet too. A lot of times women have outlets. They get with their girlfriends and they talk about the serious stuff. They talk about the deep stuff. They talk about the uncomfortable stuff. But a lot of
But
times
they talk. Women talk about everything. Okay, like
they talk about, they go to the bathroom together. So you know they talk about
from the rooter
everything.
to the tutor, they talk about it all. Listen,
But a lot of times we, we hold back. We don't express everything that's going on with us, and a lot of times those start to fester, and it hurts us more than it helps us. So that's what this platform is about. So I am Scooter Lamont, and this is my wonderful brother. Go ahead and say your name for the people.
I'm Carl. What's popping?
Hey, y'all don't understand. This man is a multi-million-dollar man with a $1 million plan, with billion dollars, $1 trillion companies. Man, this man is an awesome guy, and you all should get to know him, not
Okay.
for his money or for what he has, but this man has some knowledge that can take you to the next level.
Hey, speak that thing, man. Speak it. I accept it.
Hey, I know that's right. I know that's right. So before we get started, guys, we want you all to share the show. Share it with your brothers, your cousins, your nephews, your uncles, your fathers, any of that. Have them log on. Even if they're not on Facebook, we are on YouTube as well. So we want you to share this. Send them the link so that they can log in and, hey, and either learn something or input something that we can learn from each other, or just to communicate with each other. And so that's what we're here to do, and that's what we're gonna do tonight. We're gonna dive into some things, but before we get to that, we want you to definitely share, and subscribe to our YouTube page. If you go to our YouTube page, it is Mannn with 3 N's, Mannn Me Too. Go to our YouTube page. We want you to like, comment, share, and we definitely want you to subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Make sure you hit also every time we put up anything, you'll get that notification sent to either your phone, your iPad, or tablet, or whatever it is, that device that you use, your Apple Watch or whatever, or smartwatch. You'll get that notification that Mannn Me Too is on. And so if you all go to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell, you will definitely be in the loop of what's going on. And it's okay also to continue to follow us on Facebook. We come on every first and every third Thursday of the month. And so we're excited to be here tonight. Also, if you all have some comments or any comments or concerns or any of those things, or just want to say, hey guys, you all are doing a good job, hey, you all can send that to our email, and that's Mannn with 3 N's, Mannn, Mannn. It's down. Hey, it's down in the at the bottom of the screen. Mannn with 3 N's, me too @gmail.com. You all can leave us anything that you all like. If it's a topic that you all want us to dive into, or whatever it may be, just send it there. We'll screen it, look through it, and talk about it amongst us, and say, hey, let's try to fit this in some type of way. So that's what we are here to do. So before we go any further, we normally start with a couple would you rather questions. So the way this works, either Carl or myself will ask the question, and each other, we will normally answer what it is. And even if we ask the question, we'll give ours at the end. We want you all to also put yours in the comment section of what would you rather do. So don't just leave it to just me and Carl. We want you all to engage with us. Make sure that you all are putting in the comment section, what would you rather do? So would you rather, let's get into this segment. So we have a good topic tonight.
So hold on. I just want to say, if they confused, we can see the comments live. So if you got something to say, interact with us. We can see it. Like my cousin Ebony said, what's up? What up, cuz? What up, cuz?
What's up? What's up?
We can see the comments. So yeah, let's do it.
That's what's up. All right. So would you rather? Now I want you to think hard about these questions I'm about to ask you. And I want you to give your honest answer. Would you rather have more time or have more money? Would you rather
man.
have more time or have more money?
I'm gonna go with time.
Really?
Is it? I don't. Is it? Is it substantial? Like, is it like? Well, how much time we talking? Like,
hey,
we
you need
talking like
another
an
day?
extra. We talking like an extra. You, that's it. Just a day. I'm thinking long term, Scooter. Like,
Okay.
I get an extra 25 years, or I get an extra 25 million. What we
Hey,
talking?
it's up to you. Whatever you consider your time to be, or what you want. Would you rather have time, or
What?
more money?
In my head, first thing, I'm thinking time.
Okay.
Mainly because I'm thinking if I take more money, I'm gonna die. But if it's not like if it's not like if it's not like I die faster, it's just like I don't know. This is a hard question because do it mean I get more time in a day or do I get more money in a day? Like is it
Okay, let's limit it to that. You either get more money in a day or more time in a day. Jasper Smith, what's up, Jasper? How you doing? He put in the comment section, said with time, I can make more money. So he's picking
I was
time.
I was thinking that too. But you can also waste time. Let's be honest.
That's
That gonna
very
play.
true.
That's gonna play into what we talking about today. You can waste some time.
Yeah. So it
So
wouldn't even
everybody
benefit you
all
to have that extra time because you don't wasted it.
and that's what I'm saying. A lot of people always pick when I hear these. A lot of people always pick time, thinking like, oh well, I could just earn what I would have earned if I didn't get the money. But let's just be honest. Sometimes we get on that couch and we just sit there. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now
And we
so
wasted that day.
oh man, it just depends on the day, man. Cause some days I'll be real motivated. Some days I just be like, hey, I'm finna Netflix it out for the day. So,
Mm-hmm.
but just knowing me, I think I'm gonna go with time. Cause I'm on the same page. If I got more time, I can make up that money at some point, But you can get more money. You can't get more time usually. Like that's pretty cut and dry time. But money, you can make it, you can lose it. So I'm gonna go with time. What you thinking?
So I guess I would have to go with time as well. We make money. You can make money. You can lose money as well. And same with time. You can have time, but you can lose time as well or waste time as well. But I would pick time because like a lot of fathers or whatever, they feel like if they don't have the money, they can't do what they need to do. But I understand that
Right.
kids, they spell love Time. And those moments
Mm-hmm.
that you have with a person, that's what matters. Like they don't remember, oh, my daddy spent $600 on me for a computer. They gonna remember my daddy sat down and played cards with me. He sat down and talked with me. He came to my games. He showed up. Man, I remember when he took us to the park, and that's the type of stuff that we normally remember, and that goes along with time. And none of those things, for the most part, have to do with money. And so that's why I would pick time,
Nope.
because one of my love languages is time spent. I like to spend time with whoever it is that I'm spending time with.
Quality time.
Quality time. Yeah, yeah. So I would definitely say time, more time. But I have to be careful with that because, like you said, sometimes we say more time, but honestly, if I had more time, it probably would get filled up with more stuff. So I probably still wouldn't get the rest that I want, or still wouldn't get a chance to do everything because I still would need another day because that day would get filled up too.
Speaking of that, let me just put this out there. You know that saying, "You sleep when you die." You know when people be like,
Uh-huh.
you be like, grind hard, you sleep when you die. Man, listen. You gonna die because you ain't slept.
You ain't
Okay,
getting no rest.
You better get you some rest, man. Okay, don't fall into these cliches and you sleep.
And that goes along with our title for tonight, like what we're gonna be diving into, because so many people are always trying to grind, and that's great. But when you grind, you're missing out on those moments, you're missing out on those memories, and you're missing out on that time. And I was watching the movie on my lunch break, and the guy said he was getting old. Well, he was older. He was a preacher or whatever. And he was talking to his son, and his son was like, man, his father was like, what do you feel like you missed out on? He like, man, I missed time out with my brother. I miss my brother. I love my brother. And then he asked his father, what have you missed out on? And he said, time. And like, meanwhile, he had been cheating on his wife. He had been doing all type of stuff, not really paying attention to his kids. And so now that he's getting older, and now he's getting sicker and having heart problems, now he was realizing, hey, I should have spent more time with them. And so I just don't want us as people to get to the point where we are so focused on the grind, gotta do this, that we miss out and regret it at the end. Oh, dang, I just wish I would have spent more time. So that's my question. My answer is,
I was going to say, Scooter, you getting into the to the top.
Sorry, this topic.
So I'm looking in the comments.
Me,
Maurice said more time on Maurice over here. So
okay,
look like time is going. Look like the majority of the people saying time.
Okay, that's what's up. So let's move on, since nobody want no money, but everybody. Would you rather always say what's on your mind or never speak again?
Oh, man.
Now, when I say that, I want you to think about everything that we think about as people. Every time we're around people and we think certain things, if we think those things, it's going to come out our mouth.
Scooter. To never speak again,
or you never speak again. But you got to choose one.
There's no way that I would say. There's no way I would choose to never speak again, though. Like, you just gonna have to get whatever's in my head, because I'm not gonna just be up here all mute, bro. Like,
but you can hurt people's feelings, bro.
Listen. I try to be more conscious of what I'm thinking, then. Okay, but because to choose to never speak again, that's way.
That's pretty deep.
Way tougher than me. Because you could be sitting there stewing in your thoughts and just want to say something, you can't even say it. Like,
right.
I feel like that'd drive me more crazy than the unintentional or maybe intentional time that I hurt somebody's feelings. I apologize.
Okay. So you gonna go with speak your mind?
Speak your mind. Forever hold your peace. Hey, that's
where it comes from.
Right. I'm going to speak my.
Okay,
I'm going to speak.
I'm gonna step on the other side, because I'm gonna say never speak again.
How?
Because just because I don't speak does not mean I don't communicate. I can write things down. I can text them. I know that still would get like, oh my God, I can't actually say nothing, but I still could communicate. I just wouldn't be speaking. Versus me saying everything, I'm gonna be transparent. If I said everything that came to my mind, I would be in trouble. I
can see that.
Yeah,
No, I see that point, because I have some thoughts too. But listen, I just have to try to be more.
Think about it. You at
aware.
work. You at work, and your supervisor come in, and she say something that just triggers you. You might lose your job because you're going to say everything that comes to your mind.
No. That's not a good example.
Or your wife. You married?
I was going to say, I'm more worried about the wife than I'm more worried about the wife than the supervisor. Okay, I know how to separate the job from the person. You know, okay, she might say something, but listen, this is a job, okay. But the wife, sometimes she say stuff that put you in the corner. Sometimes you have to fight your way out. So, but.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned how to keep those things in to keep peace. But if I just gotta say it, I gotta say it. Hey, listen.
Hey, she gonna have to develop some tough skin if you say everything. She be like, baby, do I look fat in this? And you like, well,
huh?
But then you gotta say whatever's on your mind.
I leave the room. Now I'm leaving the room, Scooter. I'm out of here.
She gonna be like, man, why every time I ask you a question, you leave the room?
I don't know.
Man.
Okay, just don't.
That's hilarious.
I'm out of here.
All right, so you say you would go with
anytime.
You said what?
Speak your mind.
That's right.
I say anytime I got a thought that ain't right. Anytime I got a thought that ain't right, I'll be walking out the building or something like, hey, I got to step out for a second. All right,
like I said, being transparent, I wouldn't have a job because I'd be walking out of the office a whole lot. He spends more time outside than he does in here. I'm on my midday break, my the quarter break. I'm on break again. All right. So let's move on to the last one for the night before we get into our topic for tonight. Would you rather be too busy or be too bored? Would you rather be too busy?
Ain't no in between, huh?
Or too bored?
That's
no
hard.
In between.
Now that's real hard. Too busy or too bored. It takes a lot for me to get bored. So to say I'm too bored, that means I ain't doing nothing. Like, because I could be doing nothing for a long time before I realize that I'm bored. So I'm gonna go with too busy. Because I feel like if I'm too busy, I'm probably at least, making money and doing something productive,
But think about when you're too busy, you get agitated and aggravated because you're tired probably, but you're so busy, you gotta get this done.
But if I could plan it out,
you too busy.
If I could plan it out, and prepare my mind that I'm gonna be too busy for forever, then I'll be all right.
I get it from that standpoint. Because that's the story of my life.
Right.
So I guess I would have to go with two. I would rather be too busy. And I say that because I do not like to be bored. I just don't. And I kind of get bored easily.
I don't even know what bored is, Scooter.
Sometimes I feel like a child because sometimes I be all over this house. One minute I want to sit on the couch watch TV. The next minute I want to be in the studio. The next minute I want to go upstairs, outside to the backyard. Next, I'm like, I hope I don't have ADHD.
Well, if you do, you made it this far.
Right. But I need something to keep me focused. And then another reason I would rather be busy or too busy because when I don't have something to do, especially like if I'm at work, I'd rather have more work than to have not enough work because it makes the day go longer.
Yeah.
But when I have a lot of work, it makes the day kind of fly by. Like, dang, it's already time to go home. So I would personally rather be too busy. Sometimes it gets overwhelming, though. I'm not gonna lie on that part. Sometimes it's like,
oh yeah,
man, I just need a break, or I can't. I got so much stuff I got to get done. I just need to close my eyes for a minute, like, you know. But I still would rather be too busy than to be too bored. So thank you all for
I feel.
Yeah, thank you all for participating with us within our game. We're going to get quickly into our topic for tonight. But before we get in, I want to ask you all, can you all share this show for us? Share it again. Make sure that you all are sharing it with your friends. You can send it. You all know how to share stuff. You can send it to people's inbox. You can share it on their page. You can send it to their cell phone number as a text. Share it. You never know what people could gain from this. You never know. So I say share it. Again, I'm Scooter Lamont. That's my brother Carl D. And we are Mannn, Me Too. Again, if you all have any comments, concerns, any questions, or topics, send them to our Gmail at Mannn with 3 N's, me too at gmail.com. Make sure that you all send those things to there. Sometimes we don't get a chance to answer everything in the chat, although we can see what's in the chat. Sometimes we get deep in conversation and we may miss something. Make sure that you all send those questions or whatever you all may have to our Gmail. Also, go to our YouTube channel and make sure that you all like, comment, and share, and definitely hit the subscribe button. Make sure that you hit the all button, and that way you're connected with anytime we post anything, anytime we put up any shows or merchandise, whatever we may do in the future, you will get that notification. So again, we want to welcome you all to our show, to our Mannn Me Too show. This is a show for men. And of course, we know we have women that tune on sometimes. Hey, you never know what you can learn or what we can learn from you. So we don't, push you off and say this is just for men. But this is a platform for men to really speak out on stuff that we don't normally talk about. And so, hey, you all can be vulnerable on this show. I mean, I ain't gonna say we ain't gonna tell nobody because it's over the internet. But hey,
it's a lot.
But we definitely want to have a safe space, a comfortable space for people to kind of speak their mind. So as long as you're not being disrespectful or any of those types of things, hey, put what you got to say in the chat. So for our
non-judgmental zone,
tonight, would you like to introduce our topic for tonight?
So this, I'm gonna introduce it like this, okay?
Okay.
This is a counseling. This is a counseling session for me. That's what I'm looking at, okay? Because
we count from each other, I guess.
We finna counsel each other. Hopefully, somebody jump in the chat and help us out too. But it's just life is going and going, and then you hear people making comments of like, what do you do for outlet? And then you see another person saying, I chase money, and it's like, man, like we gotta find a balance to this stuff, man. We gotta be able to, and not saying that what we do is bad, because like, yeah, we're doing what we have to do for our family. We're doing what we have to do for the visions that we have and all that. But it's like, is there a such thing as a balanced life? That's my look at, like, I'm looking at it from the point of view of like, man, I'm working full time, then I'm coming home working overtime, then I got a whole family. Like, how do you make all of this balance out? And like, I tried to do some research and look up, and people talk about your mental health, and like, yeah, that's fine, but listen, Is anybody out there living a balanced life? And what does your balanced life look like?
That's a good question.
Because I mean, I guess what I think is balanced, like I told you yesterday, like in my head, the perfect balanced life is 8 hours working, 8 hours with the family, 8 hours sleeping. But we all know that's not really realistic. So what say you? How do you guys balance yourself out?
Hey, make sure you guys are putting that in the chat too. We want you all to converse with us. So you can go ahead.
Yeah. That's it. I just want to know what.
Okay, so let me start off by asking
what's
you
your
some
thoughts
questions.
on it?
So,
Carl, go ahead.
Who takes care of your car, your truck, or vehicle?
Me.
Okay. Who takes care of your household?
The wife and I.
Okay. Who takes care? Go ahead.
I was gonna say she probably got me beat a little bit, but we kind of a team effort.
Okay. Who takes care of your wife?
Shoot, that's a hard question. Her, me.
Okay. Who takes care of your children? These not trick questions. I promise you, it's not.
No. Listen, I'm laughing because my wife just screamed Jesus.
Good point. Good point.
That was a good answer. But I mean, we take care of the kids, like
okay,
together.
So you do all of these things where either you are taking care of things or you and your wife are taking care of things. Who's taking care of you? And that's to any man who may be listening or may listen to this. Who's taking care of you?
But listen, that's the whole point. Like a lot of times you're thinking like, I'm good. I just need to make sure that everybody else is good.
But the reality of the matter is a lot of times we are not good. We say that to ourselves to get us through, but a lot of times we're not good. I'll be transparent again.
For sure, my wife does take care of me. For sure, my wife takes care of me too.
I knew part of that answer would be your wife will take care of you because that's the same for me. But I guess where I'm coming from is more from the responsibility aspect. A lot of times, us as men, we feel the responsibility of taking care of our wives or taking care of our vehicles or taking care of our children. But responsibility-wise, it's your responsibility to take care of you mentally, physically. Like your wife can't take care of you physically unless she had to. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of these things that only we can take care of. That's what I'm getting at. And a lot of times those things go overlooked because, like you said, you got to make sure that they good. It's almost like when you go to a funeral, you'll find somebody in a family trying to be strong for everybody else, that they never really get a chance to grieve. That's how I kind of view some of us men. We trying to make sure that everything and everybody else is okay, that we don't really balance us. Like, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say from the aspect of like you hear just from church, like you got to protect, you got to provide. So like, number one, protecting and then providing. That in itself says like, listen, at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do to make sure that this house is running, this family is functioning. Like, so honestly, the last thing you think of is like, all right, I'm gonna make sure I'm good now. Now, do I not have those moments where I'll be like, listen, everybody got to go for what they know. I'm finna be over here watching Netflix for the day. Yes, that happens, but it's not a like I'm finna. Even if I could do that, I can't do that.
Right.
Get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not finna be just sitting around watching. Now I can do it, but I'm not. Especially when I know there's stuff that needs to be done. Like, I'm not. So
okay, so in my research for this topic, I came across a few things, and it said that we're trying to balance 4 major things in life, and that's work, health, relationships, and hobbies. So, and then it said that it's like imagining 4 eyes on the stove. You know how you can turn on one of them, or you can turn on 2 of them, or you can turn on all 4 of them. All of them are fueled by gas, right? If you have a gas stove. Mm-hmm. So what happens if you have a seep in the gas line, or you run out of gas or don't have enough gas to fuel all of them? Something's gonna go out, right? Or you may have an explosion, or something bad could happen because you don't have enough gas. A lot of times in life, we run out of gas, and it's because we don't have some type. Now, me personally, I don't think, like you asked the question earlier, who's living a complete, like, balanced life? I think that's a myth of, just living a complete balanced life, because everything is not the exact same every day. If everything was the exact same thing every day, I can see finding a way to balance things. But we always have unexpected things. We always have stuff that just pop up. We all have stuff that's outside of the norm. Today, I come outside of work, get in the car, I have a flat tire. So I had to go to the tire place. This is not in my plans or in my financial plans that I wanted to just spend money. And I had to spend money to get a new tire. That's not something that happens every day. But so it's like hard to kind of balance everything if it's not working the exact same every day, all the time, every time we do it. And so, but I do think that we need to evaluate, and I'm just talking from experience, to make sure that all our lines have gas in it. Because a lot of times our health get overlooked. Lord help me.
So check this.
Yeah.
You see that comment? As men, when it comes to our mental and physical health, we kind of put ourselves to the back because we have to keep our home and work balance just to have a little peace. So,
man,
this is something we all dealing with. We all got to figure this thing out. And in my mind, and in my mind, saying to have a balanced life doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, I'm gonna do A, B, C equal parts every day. Even if it's like, okay, if I work hard all day this day, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna take the wife on a date. We gonna kick it,
right?
Or and then the next day we gonna kick it with the family, or however it goes. Like, we just gotta find that time to not always be in the lab. You get what I'm saying? Like, we got to find time outside of
because it's easy after doing something for so long to get used to doing just that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it's so easy to, and then you don't even realize sometimes you haven't spent as much time with your wife as you need. Or, the kids been playing on their own for a long time. You haven't even, you know what I'm saying? it's so easy when you're doing something for so long to get used to that and get comfortable in it. And so it's not always easy. I'm just telling you from experience.
You know what I can say? My life is probably more balanced than I probably give it credit, because the fact that I work at home with my wife, I feel like she uses that to be like throw the hints at me. So like I'm working, she's like, we need a date, or we need some alone time. Like she, and then the kids also, they don't let you be slack parents. So we ain't been at the house in, or we like, so my life is probably more balanced than I give it credit, but it still sometimes feel like it's just like, man, I've been working and going like.
So for me, like to go on what you just said, sometimes I feel that what I'm doing is not enough.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I feel like what I'm doing is not good enough. I haven't done enough, and that could be a good thing, but that could also be a bad thing, because, like you said, sometimes we don't give ourselves the credit that we should. But sometimes if we do give ourselves not more credit than we should, but we get comfortable in that, then you start to slack, because, oh man, shoot, I've been doing this for a while, so let me just do this, or whatever it is. And so that's why I say it could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. And so I don't know, what do you think about that? Like how do you mentally say, okay, I'm staying on top of this, and give yourself a little praise, but still keep yourself humble enough to keep grinding?
Well, in my private time, I toot my own horn. I just try not to do it, too much.
Hey man, like, that's pretty good. I actually really like that.
I think I toot my horn a little bit too much sometimes when the wife started like, oh, here you go. But I try to recognize when I'm doing something good, because a lot of times we only recognize when we failing. Like we don't really, because I put something together and be like, oh, I set that mud off. Like, and I say it out loud, like, hey, I killed that. Like, and so, and partly I'll be joking, but I mean, not really.
Well, they say to every joke there's some type of truth to it, and it's kind of the truth.
No, if I really set something off, I'll be for real though. I'll be like, hey, your boy did that one, okay? So I don't know where I get that from. Like I'll toot my own horn, like privately though, because I don't want people to think I'm arrogant or conceited, because I've been called conceited.
Oh, that's why you won't tell them that you got this $1 billion business. you be at home like, I'm on top of the world.
I'm the man around here.
I'm just kidding, y'all.
In the public, I try to be humble. I try to be humble in public.
That's actually really good, because sometimes people can present themselves being more arrogant than they should, or thinking more highly of themselves than they should. And, sometimes you have to be humbled. And life and God has a good way of humbling. So to do that in private, I actually really like that. Like, that's a way to keep you encouraged. That's a way to get the balance of, I get on myself, because we already are conditioned from the way that we grew up and the way we were taught as children. They most of the time only said something when you did something bad. So, you know what I'm saying? They didn't acknowledge all the times that you did something good or well. And so to kind of go back and unlearn those things to learn, hey, I'm going to toot my horn in private. Like, that's actually really good. And like I said, as long as you don't get to the point where you toot your horn in public all the time and you coming off arrogant or like you're better than other people, then it's okay when you do something, you know, whatever you're doing. Hey, I cut the grass today. And it's okay to even have small praises for small things.
Can I speak on that?
Yeah,
I cut my grass Saturday. Cut my grass Saturday. Hey, killed it. Okay, listen. But I was tired after I slept all day.
So, man, take you a small praise break. I know we talk about praise break as far as church, but praise does not just, and don't get me wrong, I'm not taking away from God at all, but the word praise alone, we can do that to ourselves. We can encourage ourselves. And when you do something small in your mind, praise it.
Yeah.
Encourage yourself. Man, I did that. Mm-hmm. I put up a whole TV mount the other day. I did that.
Come on now.
Man. And that's the thing. Of course, to somebody else that does it all the time, that's probably nothing to them. But somebody that's never done a TV mount, that's probably big to them. Like, man, you did that? And so that's how, I guess we kind of have to encourage ourselves that way. Like, I did that. Yeah. Hey, I need that on the shirt, and I need to coin that before.
I did that.
I like it.
Man, me too.
Man, yes.
But you know, okay, let's talk about this praise break thing, right? So I can give myself a little praise and be like, hey, you did that, you did this. But I can't take it from nobody else. Like,
and that's a condition thing. Why is that? Are you just not used to it, or do you feel kind of awkward or feel weird when it's awkward? Like, listen, just admire it. You ain't got to say what I did great. Just be like, okay, yeah, okay. Because listen, I was cutting the grass, and I had already checked the grass out. Like, I knew I had it straight. The wife came home. She's like, "Oh, baby, you look like you hired somebody." I'm like, "Listen, chill, okay? Listen, chill. You're doing too much." So why was that hard for you to just take that? You had already known I killed this. I did that. We gotta learn how to accept it from other people. I'm talking to myself too. Because you know what? I found out, me and us as people, the first thing we do when somebody give us praise, we downplay it. It's cool.
Yeah.
I did a little something like it. No, you did that.
I mean, I messed that little piece up right there,
Or we point out the imperfections. Like, learn to live in it. That's what's up.
Hey,
I seen your grass. You did a great
hard,
job.
Man.
Hey, bro, you got to get used to it with me because I'm gonna tell you.
Not too much, man. Not too much, man. Not too much. Don't lay it on too thick. See, that's what the wife be doing. She be laying it on too thick. Okay, if she just give me a nice smooth layer, just be like, "Oh, babe, nice." But she be going, "Oh, like she go overboard, and then it get uncomfortable. It's just like, wait a minute, okay, look, pull back a little bit,
there, my brother. Do you know that you are royalty?
Hey, listen, that's okay, Scooter. But listen, yeah, you ain't got to say it. It's okay.
Hey, anybody that may be listening, tell me. I'm trying to get used to it because I do the same thing. I downplay it or be like, no, it was just I did. Well, I mean, it's not perfect, but I'm trying to get myself conditioned to the point where I live in it and I accept it for what it is. But comes along with that, since we're talking about balance, we got to know how to accept it when it's something that we may not like either.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's something that I kind of have an issue with. I mean, I like being praised, but when it's something I don't want to hear or something I don't like, it's not always that easy to accept that.
It's not.
Now, I know I have to because it's going to ultimately make me better because if somebody just tell you good things, when something bad happens, you gonna flip out because you've never been told, hey, you can be doing better.
But you also have to be careful when it comes to that because who is it coming from?
That's true. Well, you know what? Honestly, that's why I said I have to work on that, because when it comes from people the closest to me, it hurts more.
But if you know that person and you know their intentions, they may not be coming from a malicious place. They just want to. Now the delivery may not always be on
delivery,
point, but
that plays a big part to me. Because
the delivery may not always be on point. It is, but if okay, so I don't know. I heard this from the Love Hour. It was one couple talking about when they have heated fellowship. They was like, if you're gonna give anybody the benefit of the doubt, give your spouse the benefit of the doubt. Okay. So now they may go hard, but you know your spouse ain't out to just eat your neck off, hopefully, right? So it's like, all right, I'm gonna take that. Because a lot of times
take the sting out of it though, bro.
Especially it don't take the sting out of it off of it, but if you know your spouse is not trying to just destroy you, hopefully that's not the case. Now, listen, we've been through a whole pandemic now, okay? So some spouses might be out here trying to destroy somebody, but for the most part, your spouse ain't out here trying to destroy you. A lot of times we say stuff because we say stuff in a hard way because we don't know how to deliver it in a
so I don't know, a smoother way. I don't know. Uncomfortable conversations, because I know how I operate. Mm-hmm. It's not always that easy to tell somebody that I don't like something or something is out of whack.
How you feel?
If I get upset,
yeah.
Oh, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to say exactly what it is.
And if somebody hurts your feelings, you don't always know how to say you hurt my feelings. Like that's not a comfortable conversation that men have. Like, you hurt my feelings. Like what? Like a dude saying that is like taboo. But
oh God,
you would be a liar out here if you say ain't nobody ever hurt your feelings.
Exactly.
So we just got to get rid of all this crazy societal structures that they built on top of us. Yeah. Like, listen, somebody hurt your feelings, especially if it's your wife. If you can't be vulnerable to nobody, listen, babe, you hurt my feelings, okay? Now, I'm talking to myself because I don't see. If I ever say that, listen, I'm hurt deeply, okay?
Dang.
But
if I ever say that, you better know you cut me deep.
Right.
I ain't just saying that to
you. I'm trying to work on expressing myself when in the moment instead of steaming in it and taking it out on everybody else until I cool down and say it nicely. So, but listen, we got to get past that. Men can't say this, men can't do that, bro. We gonna be some real humans out here. Let's because women will tell you in a second.
All of it. We gotta learn how to deal with all of it.
Women will tell you in a second how they feel, what you said that made them feel that way. Like it's like they record the conversation. Like,
and what's crazy is although we try, although we don't say nothing about it, a lot of times it still come out in our actions. It come out in how you know we kind of change, and people notice, well, you ain't acting like you was acting at first, and so it still comes out. So we might as well just say, hey. But I will say this,
right?
You have to be careful who you say it to, because people have to also give you a safe space to say it to them, and either not be thrown in your face or they don't use it against you. So I'm not saying
don't be out here
with everybody.
Don't just be out here Yeah, don't be out here just telling
You
everybody
hurt
that
my
hurt your feelings. Because then they be out here calling you. They be out here calling you soft and everything. But listen,
you
got to know who you dealing with.
Supervisor, okay? They hurt your feelings because they looking at it as a job. They're like, look, I'm not caring about your feelings. I need you to get the work done.
Nope.
And so,
that's
but
right.
You should have a safe
space.
Find you a safe space where you can release what's going on with you. Because, man, life gets overwhelming sometimes. And when you hold it all in,
it is.
Going back to some episodes when we first started, I was talking about that balloon. Use that balloon analogy. You keep filling it up with something. It'd be the smallest little thing that make that balloon burst. The smallest little piece of breath, because you didn't release some of it somewhere. And so you got to find a safe space where it's not going to be used against you, or a safe person, or whoever that may be for you, because everybody's not married. Everybody doesn't have parents. Everybody doesn't have children. So it's going to be different for everybody. But find you a safe space to be able to release what's going on inside of you or how you feel about something. And so, and that's another reason why I appreciate my brotherhood and friendship with you, because a lot of times I can find that safety in you. I said, hey, bro, I'm feeling some type of way about whatever it is. And you don't, you know what I'm saying? You don't throw it back in my face, or you don't use it against me. You'll be like, see, last time you did, so I appreciate those things. And I think everybody needs to find them a safe space, especially men, because like we said, women, they get comfortable with each other all the time. Be like, girl, I just lost this and I lost my job, and why this dude, he didn't do that. And, man, he made me feel some type of way. So, but we don't do that.
They get too comfortable, if you ask me, okay? Let me just say.
They definitely do. So, back to the fire analogy that I was talking about. Where do you find gas at? Like, out of all four of those, your work, your health, your relationships, or your hobbies, what gives you the gas to keep going or fills you up?
Well, it all kind of works together, right? So, like, I'm not one of them people that be like, I hate my job, because my job, I know my job is a resource that was given to me for a certain reason, right? So, like, it ain't like I regret waking up every day going to work. No, I'm doing this because I got a family. When I come home and do what I do in the lab, that's because I enjoy that for the most part, but it does get stressful, and doing it after you didn't work the whole shift, sometimes that gets tiring, but it is still fun to me to do it. So, and then kicking it with the family, you get to have a good old time. Like, it all kind of plays, it all kind of has its part. So I can't really pinpoint one thing and be like, oh, this is where my hot spot is. Okay. Like, I enjoy it all, because through all of it, I'm building something. Like, the whole point is, like, either I'm helping the family financially build something, or I'm building something in the family through interaction. So it's all
so for the people who are in the chat and that are listening, put in the comment section what fuels you, what gives you the gas to continue whatever you're doing. Like he said, when he goes to work because he has a family to provide for, and he wants to make sure that, of course, he has money and all those things. And sometimes there's joy in that as well. But, you have all the other things. Some people are like really into their health and being fit and going to the gym and eating healthy. Like, some people are really, really into the gym. Yep. Some people are into relationships, spending time with people and like, building relationships with people. That's what fuels and gives some people gas. Some people, it's their hobbies. You find them, they fishing and they do whatever it is. They knitting, they whatever. They playing the game. Whatever it is that you do I want you all to put in the comment section what gives you the gas to continue, or that fills you up when you get empty. So for me, it's more relationships. I love building relationships. I love having conversations. Like,
family.
Okay, she said my family. All right, that's right. So for me, it's building relationships. I love spending time with people. I love, hey, a good time to me is having a house full of people. And
house full of people. And the party don't stop.
That's man. When I tell you, I get so much joy. I get rejuvenated. I get so much gas from that, because I just like to have a good time. And then I guess I also realize that life is precious. Life is not promised. Mm-hmm. And so I like to capitalize on every moment that I can, because you never know what could happen. You know what I'm saying? So, like, people won't spend time with their families. They won't do certain things. And I get it. We all have our things that kind of push us away from certain things. But in my mind, it's like, let me get as much time as I can. You know what I'm saying? So that fuels me. Of course, my hobbies. I'm a singer. I preach. Like,
that boy can sing.
That gives me strength. Although that can be work as well, and it is work in some cases. But when I'm just sitting around and just either singing or in my studio and I'm just working, like, that fuels me. That gives me the want to keep going or keep pushing. And then it encourages me. Like, when it comes to writing music, a lot of times, even writing sermons, a lot of times I'm really talking to myself, or I'm talking from an experience that I had, that I've had. And so a lot of times those things fuel me, and they encourage me, and they push me to continue to go on. And of course, I cannot leave God out of this. Like, God is the whole, he's the whole perimeter of everything. But within
he's the source.
Yes, he's the source of all of that. But within that, he gives us different resources and give us different relationships that we can build with people, and get different hobbies and different ideas. And he gives us all these things that we can either take it and run with it, or we can sit on it. Like, he gives us those things, and I just don't want to just sit on those things. So, that's what it is for me. So finding some type of balance within that, I think, is important. Again, I don't think that there's just this ultimate balance that you just don't have, or just gonna just balance everything. Because, like I said, life is a good teacher that's gonna teach you that you can have everything together that you think you have together, and something will hit you out of the blue, and you're like, "Hey, I ain't even realize that was gonna happen." And so, but I do think there are certain techniques that we can use to bring some type of balance to our lives. Like, I was talking to my coworkers at work, and we were talking about the balance of paying bills and dealing with money and all those types of things. And I was telling them how I thank God for my wife, because she's always been the one that knew how to handle money, knew how to pay bills, knew how to do what she's supposed to do first, and then play around with whatever else she has. And so she taught me that. But along with that, like, we went through all our bills and both our pay dates and stuff like that. And I have a whole list of what I paid within that first pay period, and then what I pay on that second pay period. And so seeing that and seeing those things written down helped me to be able to function better, where I'm not frustrated about, oh, this bill came out and I didn't realize it was coming out, or you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes those things happen. But being able to have that list in front of me sometimes to say, oh, okay, this is the 23rd check-in, or this is the 8th check, and this is coming out, the mortgage coming out, the gas, the electric bill, like, I have to pay this, have to pay that. Being able to see that, that's one of those tools that help me to be able to balance, especially our finances. And so I don't know if any of you all can take anything from that, But I definitely encourage you to write it down. Be able to actually.
So it sounds like.
Go ahead.
Sounds like what you're saying is. Sounds like what you're saying is have a plan, but also be ready for the unexpected.
Oh yeah, come on, preach, brother.
I ain't afraid. Listen, I ain't preaching. Okay.
He said have a plan, but be ready for the unexpected.
You gotta be.
Oh, that's a.
You gotta be ready.
Ooh, the Bible said write a vision.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
But just know that some unexpected is gonna happen. And so, and that's real in life. And I hope that encourages somebody on here to know that you can have the plan, write the vision, make a whole plan. Right? But just know, don't put too much into just the plan to think that something is not gonna come out of the blue. So within that, talking about balance, you gotta have some type of savings. I know that's hard for some people when trying to make ends meet and you may barely only have enough to pay your bills, but we got to try to figure out some type of way. I don't care if it's $1, $10, $20, $50, $100 to save something because unexpected things happen. Like I said today, I had to spend money on a tire. That was unexpected. Like, things happen.
Wait, bro, that was a real story? You really had to get a tire today?
I did.
I said, you really had to get a tire today? I didn't know. Oh, wow.
Low key trying not to be mad about this money. But I'm good because I have a savings that, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That if something happens, I can I have a plan. But understand that unexpected things happen. Boy, you spoke a word with that one. Come on, I'm joining your church.
Listen.
So
you gonna be the only one there. Nah, I ain't gonna even be there.
You ain't gonna be there. So, how do you deal with balancing or not allowing your past to control your present and your future?
No.
Because I know you, and you probably don't allow that to control you or dictate your future or your present. But for a lot of men, the devil and the enemy, and some people baby mama, some people mama, sometimes it's them. Like, they can't get past their past. It always comes up.
I can see that, like, people saying, like, oh, well, this happened to me, so I can't do this or something like that. Like, but, hey, I think that's what goes back to the whole mental thing. Like, you got to build your own mental, spiritual relationship to be able to let stuff either bounce off you or you deal with it to the point where you can still function in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything ain't gonna just fall off. Like, you might have to deal with things for a while, but that shouldn't be the thing that stops you from pushing, like going for what you want or going for what your goal.
So like, what happens when, say, and Ebony put in the chat earlier, what fills her up is when she get empty is her therapist. So, hey, sometimes it benefits you to have a therapist out here. You can be getting
find
filled.
You somebody to talk to, man. Yeah, find you somebody to talk to.
But what I was saying was, what happens when, say, you want to buy the house or you want to get the apartment or you want to get the car, and you're reminded of the fact that your credit is jacked up now. And then I'm thinking about scenarios that us as men go through, and then it's like, at that point, man, I could have got this if I would have did what I was supposed to do back then, but I didn't know. That's a part of your past. How do you deal with not allowing that to control your future? Or how do you change that or work towards changing that so it's not affecting your future or your present?
Okay, so I'm just gonna be real. Okay,
That's what we
most of
want.
us probably, most of us probably started out with some toe up credit. Okay, because let's just be honest, in the households we grew up in, that wasn't something that was
It was not
talked
nothing,
about.
something that was
It
taught.
wasn't discussed on. You see people work to get what they want or buy beyond what they got, and that's just how that's what we knew. So when I got my first job, when I got this, listen, I was at the mall every weekend. I wasn't worried about no paying no. I, I always pay my bills, but I wasn't worried about no credit, and so uh, if I got a credit card and I use them, then hey, if I ain't got the money to pay right now, I ain't gonna pay it. So, but at some point, you have to grow, mature, learn, take it upon yourself to figure out how to do it. And there's a million resources out here. The internet is vast. I've always said that. You can figure out just about anything.
So you said not allow your past to stop you from learning new, or use you being able to use that as an excuse of why you can't move forward or learn something new?
If anything, let your past fuel you to learn how to get out of what you in. Like, okay, I'm in this situation. Just go on Google. Google, how do I fix my credit? I will guarantee a book will come up of stuff that you can do to fix your credit or whatever it is.
Or you get some type of tool.
Yeah. So don't use it as a crutch. Use it as fuel. Okay, I'm in this hole right now. How I get out this hole?
Now, sometimes for me, I use bad things or what I may consider to be negative things to fuel me to not do it again. Like, I often look back at older pictures of myself when I was bigger, and it fuels me not to go back there. Or it kind of checks me and get myself in line. Okay, you can go back to this if you don't do this. Or so a lot of times I try to use those things to fuel me to, keep me motivated. Okay, you don't want to go back here. Or sometimes it can be your childhood and certain things in your childhood, you be like, oh no, I remember when I was younger, it used to be so hot in our house. I used to see the devil. So now I work extremely hard. So when it get hot outside, I don't care what the month.
If you need to turn on the air, I'm turning on the. That's right. Come on, say it again.
That fuels me, that memory of how hot it used to be in our house. And, going to cousin's house, maybe a grandma's house, and it would be hot. That fuels me to go to work every day to make sure that I can afford.
Can we talk about
my bills?
Can we take a break and talk about this, Scooter?
Yeah, go ahead.
Scooter, can we take a break and talk about these black unwritten rules that you can't turn the air on before this month. You can't turn the heat. Bro, okay, that might have been the rule at your mama house because she was paying the bill.
Right.
I pays the bills around here, okay?
My house, my rules.
Ain't no rules. Turn on the doggone air. If it's cold, turn on the heat. I don't care if it's back-to-back days. I don't care if we had the air on yesterday.
Turn the heat on to
it was
yes, sir.
Hot. It got I don't care. Listen.
And I got this furnace that I don't have to light no pilot. If it get cold tomorrow, I'm turning on my heat.
Can we stop it with these old? Listen, I love the older generation. I love my mom, my pops, all of them. Okay, my grandmas, all of them. But listen, we in a different space. We in a different day and time. Okay. If I want to turn on the air and it's January, I'm turning the air on.
You preaching to the choir, my brother.
I don't care about it ain't June. I'm tired of this, Scooter, okay? I'm tired of these unwritten rules that we.
It just snowed a couple weeks ago. We don't know what's going to happen. We're in spring and it's snowing, so
right.
I don't know what to tell people.
Just stop it, y'all. Okay. Turn your air on if you're hot. Turn your heat on if you're cold. Okay.
If you can afford it, I'll put it like that. Well.
Okay. I'll go with that too.
But it shouldn't be based off of those.
Here we go, right here. This that foolishness right here. So
why is that? Why is that even a thing? Like, I mean, who said
80 degrees
where
tomorrow?
is this rule that it has to be that?
It started way back then.
Why? But
way back, and they was like, "Don't start no campfire if it ain't December." And it just.
And you know what? It may have started out as something like that, where we're not trying to waste fire, or when we don't need it. That's understandable. But like you said, times have changed, technology has grown, and people.
We are two professional working adults in this house who can afford to turn on the heat and air.
Why suffer when you don't have to?
We letting our past control us, Scooter. That's what we do. My point. We need to let it go.
That part of my past don't control me, because I'm telling my Earl, I don't care. People came over this past weekend like, the house is freezing. You better thank God for that, because back in the day, we had window units and I heard
it's a whole house full of people, and y'all won't turn the air on, and it's hot because it's not June.
Anybody that come over here know that it's gonna be on.
Somebody's gonna pass out in this house because it's not June yet. Okay, I digress. Okay, I'm done. Okay.
So, okay, do you have a problem with? And I know you probably don't with this one, balancing other people's opinion about you or your family or your lifestyle? Because that's another thing that we as men sometimes battle.
No, I have my moments, right? Just probably like most people. So I have my moments, but those moments only last about this long if it's not true. So yeah, like I care to a point, but it's like, is it true? Or is it valid? Or is it? So if it's not, then hey, if you want to form an opinion about me for who knows what, go for it. I know why I move how I move. Mm-hmm. So listen, it is what it is at that point. I got a failure to protect.
For me, I guess
I can't be out here concerned about the others.
Yeah, and I have to tell myself that sometimes. For the most part, I have to humble myself, because I'll be like, I don't care what nobody thinks. I'm going to do whatever I need to do or whatever. But sometimes there are moments that I got to get this done because I don't want people to think, or I'm going to do it this way because. And sometimes that, I have to check myself on that.
The pressures of what somebody expects from you. That's what you're talking about.
Man, honestly, that part has been, like I said, the past week was really rough for me. And part of that is always feeling the pressure. And I don't know if that expectation comes from myself or from what I think others think. But I feel the pressure of always having to be okay.
Oh, yeah.
And it may be because, I'm a preacher and I'm a leader in the church, leader. a lot of times I feel the pressure of feeling like I have to be okay. Like, even in my relationship with my wife, a lot of times I find myself having to be the encourager. And don't get me wrong, there are definitely moments where she has to step in and encourage me because I be all over the place sometimes. But a lot of times I find myself having to be the one that's strong or to appear strong anyway. And sometimes that gets overwhelming. And sometimes you just get the best of you. And so, that's something that I'm currently trying to work out, because I don't want to feel like I'm focusing so much on what other people think or their expectations for me that I can't really deal with me, if that makes sense. That I kind of put myself on the back burner, or I'm pushing myself to be strong. The Bible says, cast all your cares on him, for he cares for you. So that it's impossible for me to cast it on him, but I still carry it. If that makes sense. But a lot of times we do that. We say, I'm giving this problem to God, or I'm putting it on the altar, like, some church people say, but then we take it right back with us. We still are stressed about it. We still, like, if we're going to do that, we have to take our mind out of it and not stress about it and not be weary in well-doing. Like, we just got to know, hey, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And I guess I'm speaking to myself at this point. And, don't be weary.
You're speaking to all of us, brother.
Like, but sometimes you do just get a little weary. But most of the time that happens because we're not really casting, but we're carrying. And like I said, there's no way that I can give you $100, but I still hold on to it too, and you be able to actually do what you need to do with it.
Oh no,
there's no way. If I send you a cash out, that it leaves my account and it goes to yours. But as long as I try to hold on to it, but still try to give it to you, it don't work like that. And so that's what a lot of us do as men, as people, period. But definitely as men, we feel that pressure to, going back to what we said earlier, initially, got to take care of the family, got to take care of the household, got to take care of the finances, got to take care of this, got to take care of that. And to the point where feel so much pressure of all of those things that we don't really get a chance to kind of deal with us. And that's where the imbalance comes in. Things are not balanced because we're so focused on this stuff and we're not really casting it, but we carrying all this stuff, and carrying it weighs on you after a while.
Yeah, because when you carry 10 things at a time, then
exactly
you just break down at some point. But yeah, that's good, because shoot, we sit up and say we give it to God, but we still think on it and harp on it for the rest of the
yes, sir.
Or at least until you get some sort of answer or whatever, you still thinking about it. So yeah, but I don't know, man.
And it's so easier said than done. Like, it's easy to say, oh, I'm gonna just give this to God, or I'm gonna give this problem to my mom, or give this to my wife and let her handle it. But a lot of times it's still be in your mind, oh man, I hope this work out, or how is this thing gonna work out for me when like I said, we holding on to it, but we think we're giving it away. And that's why we find ourselves in those moments. We wouldn't feel the need, and this is not a judgmental statement at all. So I don't want anybody to take it like I'm judging. But if we actually carried on like that, where we actually cast and not carried, we wouldn't find ourselves doing as much drugs. We wouldn't find ourselves, getting addicted to so much stuff. We wouldn't, because most people are looking for an outlet. And so that's why people get into certain stuff, because they're looking for an outlet. But so if we get to the point where we feel comfortable enough and we actually cast those things and not carry them, then we can find our rest and our peace in God versus finding them in other things, which does nothing but add more weight to what we already currently have. Ain't that crazy? We pick up weight thinking that it's helping us, but it's doing nothing but adding more weight to us. That's why the Bible says, set aside every weight. It wasn't even talking about just sin at that point. Sometimes we have stuff in our lives that are not particularly sin, but it can be a weight on us. And it says, lay aside every weight that so easily beset us. And so sometimes we have stuff that we're carrying that we're not supposed to be carrying. And it's not always easy. It's sometimes it's hard to get rid of those things. But it's important if we're going to try to figure out some type of way to have a balanced life. Man.
Whew. I just want to be able to balance out my life, man. You didn't put all this extra stuff on. Now I gotta.
Hey, that's what this is geared towards, to make us think about some stuff. Because a lot of times we just exist in the world. We just go from day to day and we just trying to grind, just trying to make this money. But there are certain small things. It's like that you have to, it's like reading a contract. Sometimes you have to read in between the lines. And sometimes we just want to read the words that are on the page and sit with that. Oh, well, that's what it said. But you got to really read into things in between things to say, okay, what is this really saying? Or what is this part in my life? How is this either contributing or hurting or harming me, either to my future or to my right now? Oh God, it's not easy.
Right.
Woo. So within that, I feel like, and we're not professionals. And let me speak to you, Carl. Continue to make small steps in the right direction. It may seem small to you. It seem even smaller to other people. But as long as you continue to make small steps in the right direction, it can turn into the biggest step of your life. A lot of times we want to take the big steps. We see other people progressing. We see other people making money. We see other people in their families. We see other people seem like they got it all together. And it kind of diminishes the small steps that we're taking. So continue to take those small steps. And I'm talking to anybody else who's listening as well. Continue to take those small steps into the right direction. Because guess what? I remember when I had COVID and my wife was upstairs and I was downstairs and I had to go upstairs to make sure she had food to eat. I was so out of breath that it literally took me 10 minutes to get up a flight of stairs. But guess what? I eventually made it. And so it took those small steps. I had to take it one step at a time because it was so hard to breathe. But those small steps led me to the point where I was able to do it with no problem. So take those small steps because it's going to lead to the biggest step of your life.
That sounds like you preaching out here,
man. Hey, but that's real though, because a lot of times we look at other people's lives or we look at other situations and it just makes us feel small or make our ideas seem small. Like I deal with that. Honestly, I deal with that where I listen to other people's music and I be like, man, my lyrical content is not as strong as theirs. But it's like, you know what? God is giving me this. So, or he's inspiring me through my experience. So it's going to help somebody, even if it only helped me.
Right.
It's something. And so we have to take the whole comparison thing out of it. We're going to really live some type of balanced life, because when we compare ourselves to others, it kills us. It diminishes what we have. And it's almost like a slap in the face to God, because God like, look, I done built all of this within you, but you diminish it by focusing on what somebody else is doing.
You know, when people like compare themselves and like stop what they're doing because somebody else is doing something similar, but like the thing that you have is tied to the people who you're supposed to help. You ain't supposed to look and sound like that person. That you ain't supposed to look and sound like that person who you letting intimidate you, because they're already touching those people that they supposed to touch.
Speaking of words, come on.
So I fortunately I've never been the type that was like, man, they doing this, so I ain't gonna do it, or they doing this, so ain't no point of us doing it, or like I'm just gonna stop doing what I'm doing because they moving like this, or I just feel like, okay, we can move together. Like, I mean, not per se together, but like you doing what you do, I'm gonna do what I do. Like it ain't gonna stop what's happening over here, because you have something for your audience. I got something for the audience that I'm gonna hopefully have at some point. So
right, exactly. And another thing that always encourages me is not to be a copycat, but be an original. You can go to a copy machine. Have you ever went to the copy machine and made a copy of something, and it's a duplicate of it, but it does not look exactly like the original.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't copied everything, but it doesn't have the same authentic paper as the first one, or the same authentic look as the ink. You're just trying to copy what you see. And so it's important to be an original. If all of us put our thumbprint onto a glass, each and every one of our thumbprint is going to be different. So it doesn't benefit me to try to make my thumbprint look like your thumbprint. That does nothing. When it comes to identifying who I really am, they say, who is who? Well, I see this one, and this one is a little thicker. That's called thumbprint. But I see you over here, and it's the same thing, but it's not as dark because you just tried to copy what he did. And so in order for us in all areas of our life to really have an authentic presentation of who we are, and to even really know who we are, we have to present who we are. And so I just want to encourage anybody who may be listening. I don't care what businesses you have. I don't care what you're dealing with. I'm encouraging myself at this moment. Be an original, not a copy or a carbon copy. Have you ever seen a carbon copy of paper? Everything is the exact same, but the more you rip those layers off, the print of it gets thinner.
It's faded.
It's faded.
I
don't want to be the last carbon copy of a sheet. I want to be what's written on the original. And the only way to do that is to really step into what God has for you. Man, somebody told me this some years ago, and it stuck with me, that God is going to anoint who you are, not who you pretend to be.
Yeah.
And so
that's good.
God wants to bless who you really are. You know, sometimes we get so caught up in trying to present ourselves like others that we get unbalanced. We try to present ourselves to appease other people, but God wants you to be who he called you to be. And so, man, that's what I got to say on that tip. So we come to the realization that there is no such thing as actual balance, because I don't know nobody, even on this chat, that has put in there that they live a completely balanced life in every area of their life.
I'll leave it. And if you think you do, I want to follow you around. I want to see this.
Sir, I'll follow you like I was a disciple. Because honestly, people are looking for ways and tools to better their life. Most people are. Sometimes it's not easy to either match that or to get to the place where you can do that. But a lot of people, a lot of times, are actually looking for the right thing to do. And when you can't find it or it's hard to do it, then they kind of just fall back into the same old patterns. But hey, hopefully this has encouraged you. This has encouraged me tonight, because life is no joke. just being honest. Life is no joke. And sometimes you can get caught up in what you're currently going through, what you've been through, your past, your financial status, your health. Man.
That you what you just said, you said you currently going through what you've been through. I ain't never heard them words put together like that, but it makes sense. Currently going through what you've been through.
A lot of times we're in those spaces and we don't know what to do. So in order for us to really find a balanced way of doing things, you have to work it out. There's no way for you to ever balance things without working out. If you go get on the end of a seesaw, there is no way you're gonna go up and down if somebody else don't go get on the other side to try to balance it out and lift their weight and then drop their weight and then lift their weight. You have to work it out. It's not going to just happen. I know we have those ideas and thoughts, man, I just wish I could wake up and have $1 million in my account. Don't get me wrong. God can do that. Even when it comes to healing, even when it comes to all types of things, we look for the supernatural, just, the super fast. God just did it like that. Don't get me wrong. He can do it exceeding abundantly above all we can ask or think. But for most of us, most of the time, we have to work that thing out. What were you about to say?
You better ask that lady in Louisiana when she thought God miraculously put 1.2 million in her bank. Okay.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. She took that money and she tried to run with it.
Right.
And you see what happened to her. So it don't just happen like that.
Hey, listen.
Not for majority of us. It doesn't happen like that when it comes to healings. It doesn't happen like it's stuff that we have to. It does not happen like that when it comes to deliverance. A lot of times we're looking for deliverance and we want it to happen just like that. But you got to still walk that thing out. Like you got to walk yourself through your deliverance process. You go to the hospital and have to have surgery. You don't just come out and be automatically better. You got to go through recovery. You got to go through a healing process. Man, sometimes we don't like those moments. We don't like that recovery. Oh, I gotta sit here. I gotta stay in this room. But it's designed to make us better. Oh Lord, see, I hate talking about this type of stuff because then you get tested on this stuff. Because that recovery, and I ain't talking about physically. I'm just saying, like, just emotionally and spiritually. Sometimes we go through these things. And it's not easy. It's not easy at all, but it's worth it.
It is. But I think we're at an advantage because, we know we're going to be tested. So just prepare yourself. Listen. Have a plan, but expect the unexpected.
Sir. When I tell you said something when you said that, and I really hope people got something out of that because a lot of times people just get to the point where something's gonna happen, whatever. I just don't let anything happen. No, still have your plan. Still have your plan. Still plan it out. Still talk about it. Still try to execute it. But just know that some unexpected may come. And knowing that unexpected may come still kind of prepares you to be ready for the unexpected. Hey guys, we hope you all have enjoyed this. I know I have. You got anything else to say?
No, sir. I'm filled up right now.
This has been great. Just remember, guys, to live in the moment, take your steps, your small steps. That's gonna lead to the biggest steps of your life. And I say live in the moment because sometimes we get so caught up in the grind. We was talking about that earlier that life just passes us by, and then you look back and you regret it because you like, dang, I wish I would have did this. Wish I would have spent more time with my sister. Wish I would have spent more time with my brother. Wish I would have spent more time with whoever it is. and we allow that time to get away from us. So I'm going to leave you all with this quote. Sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it's a memory. So we don't want to wait till it's a memory for it to hold that value. Try to live your life and value each moment. So when it's a memory, it's a happy memory, not pain. I'm done for tonight. I'm done. So if you all want to give
another great show. Come on now, pass that plate. Pass that plate. What's them cash apps? No.
Oh man. No, but hopefully, I know I got something out of having this conversation. Hopefully, you all have as well. So, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate all that you do, all the preparation that you put in as far as this show, and just watching you. Period. Like I be inspired for real. I'm not just talking. Like I really be inspired. And so,
why you always got to do this, man? What?
Oh, that's right. You don't want me to give you your praise break. You gotta do it. You gotta do it privately. Hey, take your praise break, y'all. Praise. Give yourself some kudos, a pat on the back, because that's what David had to do. And I'm done. I know I said I was done, but that's what David had to do. He was getting ready to do, and realized all this stuff was before him. He had to encourage himself in God, and so. Sometimes you're not going to have nobody there to pat you on the back. Sometimes you're not going to have somebody there to tell you you're doing a good job. You have to do it for yourself. Sometimes you really have to look yourself in the mirror and be like, you know what, I'm going to do this. I did that. I did that.
Uh-huh.
Thank you all so much. My brother, he said he fool over there. I'm fool too.
Thank you.
So thank you all again so much for engaging in the show tonight. Share this with somebody. This may be the boost for somebody to start their business, to get up and get their help together, or try to balance out their family life with their work life. You never know. So share this. We thank you. We appreciate you. I am Scooter Lamont, and this is my brother.
I'm Carl. I'm Carl, baby.
Carl D, the billionaire. I need you all to know that, because you on your way somewhere, brother.
Hey, keep speaking that thing.
Hey,
I'm going.
I'll go. I know you.
Keep speaking it.
Hey, the Bible says life and death is in the power of your tongue. So,
hey, I'm with you. I touch and agree.
I speak that. All right, thanks again, guys. We love you all.
Thank y'all.
Hopefully, I got something out of this. We pray that you all be blessed. Have a good night. And we will see you all on the Thursday. Y'all have a good night. Of this month. Peace.